Okay, we're going to take a little virtual bike ride today. And here we are right there at Liberty on the right, just waiting at the light. We're all gassed up, ready to go. And there's the green, and away we go. We're headed left into Warrenton now, going at a pretty good clip. We're doing 7 times the actual speed, but coming up on Country Chevrolet, just passing the rock there, going through some of the shopping centers, passing Chipotle and so on. I guess we got a little hold up here in traffic. Now we're coming up again, going around the curve. There's McDonald's on the left. There it is. And we're headed into uh, Route 211 right up here. We got the curve coming up. And there we go, making that curve. Oh, it looks like the bikes went right off into the median there. GPS wasn't quite that accurate there. Actually, what this is a virtual ride of an actual trip that we did make on October 20th in 2012. There were 3 of us. Is Kim, Karen, and June, with Paul, Ed, and me, off to have lunch at Southern Kitchen in Newmarket. And what I did is put a tablet in the back of my tour pack and had it running just to record our GPS position along the way. And of course, it was just a real basic tablet, nothing real fancy, inside a tour pack. So it didn't have a whole lot of advantage there with good signal. But it seems to work pretty well, especially here in the open spaces. And you can see there's 229. We just passed that. When we get away from the trees and the hills, the GPS is actually doing pretty well for us. It shows us we're on the right road for sure, and most of the time it shows us what lane we're in. As we cross over Sperryville and get into the Shenandoah Valley, where it's nice and flat, no hills for a long stretch, the accuracy really is very good. You'll see as we get over there. But now we're passing through, is that Amosville? Looks like it might be. And we're really making pretty good time here. Every once in a while it'll show us edging, hugging that right sideline. But generally you can tell we're definitely in the right lane on this trip for most of the time, out here where the traffic is light. And so in this part of the trip, we're really just heading on up to Sperryville. Usually we'll, somewhere around here, we'll be seeing a turn off for 522 to go to Flint Hill. If we were going to Griffin Tavern, might be taking that road. It's somewhere up close to here. No, that's not it. Maybe around this bend. Anyway, and then we'll see Rappahannock High School off on the left after that as we approach Sperryville. So is this it coming up right there? No, I don't think so. Not that one. But as you can see, the mountains are getting bigger. Oh, this looks like it right there. There you go. I think that was it. But as we approach Sperryville, all the mountains start to get a lot more interesting. Terrain gets a little bit more hilly, a lot more rugged. And what we're really looking at, as I mentioned before, is a virtual tour. And as I've said, that virtual tour is really just playing our GPS data through the Google Earth imagery. And that satellite imagery is just, of course, a flat image, but it's been enhanced with the actual terrain elevation data so that you get a sense of this 3D effect of running right through the mountains, just like we're watching from bird's eye view. And, there's a high school on the left, I think. Getting close to Sperryville now. But as this terrain gets a lot more interesting when we get into the hills, You can see that I believe I had this set for a 400-foot elevation, just slightly behind our position, so it's like a bird watching us. And there's Sperryville coming down the divided highway ends. We'll go through town here just a minute. And oh, there we are. We're way off the road. Just as I mentioned, it's going to be a little rough right through here, GPS wise. Look at that pretty fog on the ground there in the imagery. I like this part of the ride quite a lot. And it gets better as we approach the National Forest, and you'll see uh, all the buildings and the housing and so on are gone. There it is right there. There's the boundary. You can just tell. Not a building in sight. All pristine forest. And this is a lot of fun to ride through here with the hills and the switchbacks and the turns and no stoplights or anything like that. It really is beautiful through here too. And you can see that as we're winding through those turns, it won't be long before we get to the crest of the mountain, and then you'll be able to see from this bird's eye elevation, you'll be able to see Newmarket on the other side, I think, way off in the distance. And we have a few more turns to go before we cross under the Skyline Drive. I can barely see it there at the top where the gap goes through the mountain. And here we come. There's Skyline Drive right there. As you look way out in the distance, I guess that's not really Newmarket. You got to get all the way across the valley, across the next ridge to be able to really see Newmarket. But this side of the mountain has some interesting roads to traverse. We're going off here. I think we're going to be hugging the left side of this mountain a little bit more. And of course, we still have all pristine forest on this side. About the same kinds of turns and hills, all very nice from a riding point of view. Beautiful down here. And one of our favorite restaurants will be right down at the bottom waiting, but we're not going there today. We're going to Southern Kitchen off of Newmarket. So here we are. I think we're leaving the park now. We got the divided highway again. I think there's our restaurant right there. And we just got a nice big valley to cross. There's the Shenandoah Valley. Now everything's nice and clean, wide open. Look how solid we're tracking right down the center of the lane. Maybe we'll have to pass a little bit on the left once in a while, but then we'll be right back in the right lane again. Of course, you're not seeing the actual traffic we encountered. This is all imagery. You can see a lot of Luray coming up, though. All of that built up over there on the left. There's the interchange, 340, I guess that is. A lot of Luray off there on the left. But already we're starting to get back into those hills as we approach the next ridge. I guess this is some more shopping. And we're getting close now. Pretty soon this big divided highway will turn into a lot more interesting road. And there you see some of that drift we were talking about earlier. This looks like another river here, another fork of the river coming up. You can see how it dips down there. The bridge actually, the image follows the actual terrain. And since the bridge doesn't count, the image goes right down to the water. A couple little artifacts like that, but still it's fun to watch. So starting to get windy again. These are some nice wide turns initially. And I like this part of the ride because it's got some pretty good views. not so much trees everywhere. Okay, we got a lot of trees right here, but you'll see some wider open spaces around some of these restaurants. Like right here, there's a terrific view if you could look back on it. And then coming around here again, you can see right through the gap. Now you can see Newmarket. I think you'll be able to see it. Yeah, it's right down there at the end of that road. This side of the mountain uh, almost dumps right into Newmarket. It would be a pretty short ride from here. Pretty steep and windy for this little bit. But then right around here, it really evens out. And we've got another little river here. Not much of a river, more like a stream. Didn't really bounce at all. And now we'll go by our favorite ice cream shop. I think it's right around in here. There it is, right there. And we got a stoplight. Oh, we got the green. So we keep right on rolling down through the town of Newmarket. I think we did get a stoplight here. Don't know why we're off there on the left, but there we are. And right away, here we are, Southern Kitchen, pulling into the parking lot, getting off the bike, and I believe this is pretty much the end of our trek. Great ride. There you can see it, our track way back up there in the mountains. Great ride.